What's up? Old pellets through a new rifle. That's what this one's gonna be. This is probably the most pellets that I have ever tested in one sitting. It should be pretty fun. I'll be testing all of these at 20 yards. I thought about doing 15, I thought about doing longer, but I've got some wind today. I think 20 yards is a good range to see what happens. I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna zero my gun with G1 Extreme. I'm gonna zero it with the Crosman Pointies, the new ones. That's gonna be my baseline. In between each pellet, I'm gonna shoot 3 Crosman Pointies and then 3 of the type of pellets that I'm testing, probably off into the woods or at the steel target or something. I don't have a cleaning rod with me. I should have brought it, but that would have been an incredibly long shooting session. So I'm just gonna blast some Crossmans through there, and then 3 of the pellets that I'm testing, and then proceed with the group. I feel like that'll give it some kind of consistency, getting out whatever the differences in the alloys and all that stuff, getting it out of the barrel. I know that's probably not 100% thorough, but it's better than doing nothing. The first thing I'm gonna do is zero with the Crossmans. The first old pellet that I'm testing is these Daisy Pointeds. These are the newer style. I'm just doing 5-shot groups today. The second one that I'm testing is going to be the old Daisy Pointeds. Now I'm going to be testing 3 versions of these pellets. The third, other than the Crossman, and I've never seen these before. I bought them myself. I've been saving them. This is the video to use them for. I don't know how to say these, but they're K-U-G-E-L-N Diablo pellets. They look cool. Old. I've not even opened them. Let me open them, make sure I'm going to use them. It says made in West Germany. I can't get them open. I hope they're usable. Hope they're not corroded. Number 4 is going to be some old RWS Superdomes. These are from when I was a teenager. Okay, the next set of pellets is going to be a gift from Model Nutty. I really appreciate it. He sent me enough to test, and this should be cool. I've got more than this, but this is what I'm trying to use today because I want to replicate this video in the future with other rifles. The number 1 pellet that Model Nutty sent me, start over the numbers, is going to be some Daisy Match. These are a wad cutter pellet with a like the badminton style skirt. These are old. These have been washed. The number 2, and I'm gonna wait until second to last to test these. That'll make sense in a minute. The number 2 that he sent me are the Daisy Pointeds. So I'm already gonna have tested 2 Daisy Pointeds, new, old. These are old, but they are lubed. He uses WD-40. It's probably not the best thing to be putting through a spring gun, but I've got new seals. I don't think it's gonna hurt anything that bad. He wants to see how a lubed pellet with WD-40 groups through a full power spring gun like the G1. That'll be second to last because I don't want to put a lubed pellet through my barrel and then go back to a non-lubed pellet. That'll make sense in a minute. Number 3 he sent me is these Winchester 7.6 hollow points. I've never seen these. I've never heard of them. They look like great pellets. Number 4, these are Crossman Piranhas, which shot good earlier, I think last week when I did a video. Crossman Piranha, but these are also lubed, and I think these may be older. But yeah, it should be fun. So I'll go Daisy Pointed new, Daisy Pointed old, the German Diablo pellets, the old RWS pellets, Daisy Match. Then I'll go over to the Winchester 7.6. Then I'll come back to the Daisy Pointeds that are lubed. Then I'll go to the Crossman Piranhas that are lubed. A lot. I'm testing a lot of pellets today. I know it's complicated. It is what it is. So it should be fun. It'll be a fun test. I'm not going to do the 2 cameras. That's just entirely too much editing. But this will be 5 shots per pellet type, with in between each I'm going to fire 3 Crossmans and then 3 of the type of pellet that I'm testing, and then I'll roll right into a 5-shot group at 20 yards. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna zero. We'll get started. Okay, for all the pellets that I'm providing, I'm just gonna do it time lapse. I'm gonna mark them, show you the group, and then, yeah, just for the sake of time, it's all gonna be time lapse on the ones that I provided. On the ones that Model Nutty provided, I'm gonna put the camera down there. The sun's out, you know, I don't want my phone getting hot. So it's gonna be some time lapse for the first 4 types of pellets. I'll show you the group not measured after I shoot the 5 shots. And yeah, we'll go from there. When we get to the vintage pellets that he sent, I'll put you on the target. Here we go. First up, Daisy Pointed News. These are the old ones. Those were the precision pellets. These are going to be the cheap skirted ones, the badminton style flutes on the skirt. I'm gonna move my scope down 2 clicks because that one almost went off of the target. So just for anticipation, I'm gonna move it down a little bit. 5 shots of this. I'm shooting 3 Crossman pointies, 3 of these, and then I'll do the ammo test. Okay, Daisy Pointed pellets, that's about to be expected. I'm actually going to move my scope down 2 more clicks, so that's going to be 5 total. I did 3 on that one, not 2. That's going to be 5 total from the Crossman 7.90. Now I'm going to test these little wad cutters. They're really neat. They have a little dish on the wad cutter. I don't know if you can see that. It's this brand. Again, I'll shoot 3 times Crossman pointies. I'll shoot 3 of these. Then I'll do a 5-shot group. Well, it's going to be hard to beat that. That was pretty good. I have not moved the windage at all, just the elevation. It's interesting to see how they move left to right. To be some old corroded pellets, I mean, they're pretty old, pretty crusty. Those things shot good. Next is going to be the RWS Superdomes. These are decently old too. They look great though. This will be the same thing. 3 shots of pointies, 3 shots of this, then a 5-shot group. So a pretty decent showing from the RWS Superdome, but this will be number 1 of the pellets that Model Nutty sent me. These are going to be Daisy Match. These are wad cutter type pellets with a fluted skirt, and these have been washed. So yeah, here we go. I'm gonna leave you guys on the target from here on out, or until my phone gets too hot. But there's the clouds changing. Maybe the clouds will give me enough cover to keep it off my phone. But here we go, Daisy Match. And I will be continuing to shoot 3 Crossmans, 3 of the type of pellets that I'm testing. I'm just not going to say that from here on out. So the Daisy Match, it was trying. That's decent. This will be Winchester 7.6 grain hollow points. And like those pellets, that was the Winchester 7.6. That's pretty crazy. The next is going to be the Daisy Pointed. These are completely differently shaped than the first 2. They have like a little ridge, kind of like those Gammo, I forget which ones they are. They have an extra little ridge on the head of the pellet. Sorry about the crazy lighting. I don't know. It's cloudy. these are lubed. A lot of times you see people lubing pellets. It's supposed to increase the velocity of the pellet because of higher pressures, Bernoulli's principle, all that kind of stuff. My gun, the 3 shots that I did, seem to be okay with them. I'm gonna put my phone out here and do the 5-shot group. This will be number 2 that he sent me. These are lubed. These are old pellets that are lubed. Well, okay, results from the lubed daisy pointeds. I don't think the gun really liked them. There was 2 of them that it detonated. I definitely seen some smoke out the back. Or out the front of the muzzle, you know, out the back of the pellet. But this will be the lubed Crosman piranhas, or the fiery fish that I have drawn on the target. This will be the last 5 shots, last 5 pellets that I test today. Then we'll measure them up and we'll see which one wins. I think it's gonna be the Winchesters that he sent, but I don't know till I measure. And yeah, here we go. Last 5 shots, Crosman piranha, lubed. Okay, that was fun. That was a lot of shooting and walking back and forth. I think that's the most pellets I've tested in one sitting like that. Yeah, special thanks to Model Nutty for sending me those. If from beginning to end, I'm not gonna put it the way that I shot. I'm gonna have it the way that I have it on the target here. And I'm rounding up. So if it's close to the first decimal point, that's what I'm using, because I'm using a steel rule. I'm not using a caliper. Doesn't have to be scientific. I'm just seeing patterns. So the new daisy point is my pellets. These right here, the 2 inches at 20 yards out of my gun. The old daisy pointeds, the ones that I provided, these were 2.4 inches at 20 yards. Not that great. The old German pellets, these little guys, the wad cutters with the dish on them, really cool. They shot 0.6, and that was at 20 yards. That was a pretty good group from that. Those are good pellets, or they performed well through my gun. The RWS Superdomes, 20 yards, that was 0.9. It was actually probably closer to, it was 0.875, but I rounded up to 0.9. So the daisy match that were washed, it was a tight group except for that one flyer. It was 1.75 inches. Those, I think, probably have a little bit of potential if you weighed them and sorted them and looked at each one of them. The daisy pointies, the lubed, they did 1.4 inch group they did a 1.4 inch group at 20 yards. Number 3 that he sent me was the Winchester 7.6 hollow points. Now these were surprising. They looked good. I could tell a little bit of differences in the head sizes when I was seating them, but they did a 0.5 inch group at 20 yards. That's a fantastic group for me. I know it's not a 10-shot group, which is what I normally do, but like I said, I want to test these further in the future. So that's the winner for today. The Crosman piranhas did 1.25 inch group at 20 yards. Not bad. I just don't think that this gun likes that particular lube setup. I think that, you know, I shot some the other week. It's a newer pellet. Sorry for that. I wish I could see them. I'd shoot them. I don't think that my gun particularly likes WD-40. I know I shot some newer Crosman piranhas and they did better than that, but that's going to be it. Thank you. That's going to be it for today. Again, thanks to Model Nutty. This was a fun video to make. I didn't get too hot. I stayed in the shade. Nothing went wrong. I stayed on the target for the most part. Yeah, it was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. think that's it. I'll see you later.